Oh, what happened to my camera? It went out. Hold on one second, guys. There we go. That should do it. All right, well, happy Wednesday, everyone. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you had a great sleep last night. We've been getting up early in the morning and doing these practice sessions. So today we're going to talk about transposition, and we're going to talk about how to not be overwhelmed with everything. There's so much material out there. It's so many different places you can learn, and I encourage all of that. Make sure you like the video and say hello in the chat just to let me know you guys are with me. But let's talk about a couple of the licks that we've been working on, and also just how to practice and how to get a lot done without being overwhelmed, right? If you guys got the email that I sent out, we have a course going on right now where every day, I think we have 30 people now. We just had a new guy enroll yesterday, Emilio, which very thankful for Emilio. But where I'm sending out, where we're working on Blues Volume 1, we're going through all keys for all 10 licks for a 5-week period. But what I'm trying to encourage people to also do is, those that are more beginners, is focus on smaller goals. For instance, let's just take blues example 1, and we're just going to do the quarter note pulse for the left hand, right? C and G to C and A. We've been doing this. But what we're going to get to is thinking about the next key, which is D flat. I want you guys to go up by a half step. Now, the reason I chose D flat is, one, is very close to C, but if you know this fingering of 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4, and 1, 3, 5 of this first C blues lick, then you learn the D flat fingering, which is you have to hammer on to the triad. So the minor third to the major third. So 2, 3 to 5 and 1, and there's your triad. If you do that fingering, you have the same fingering for all the keys, okay? So I would encourage you to first learn it in C. We practice that. We spend a lot of time there. And then we also are going to make sure we know it in D flat, which is 2, 3, 5. And you hammer on the minor third to the major third. And this is what my students are telling me is the tricky part, right? Is when you hammer on from the minor third to the major third. And we're in D flat. And I'll explain the theory again in just a minute on how we're doing this. But think about your practice time and how much time you've actually spent playing in D flat, right? And most of us, and including me, I spend way more time in C major than D flat. But here's the thing, if you really start to break it down in the theory and you learn the theory, it makes transposition really easy, okay? And I'm going to demonstrate that for you guys. I'm going to demonstrate how I practice things and how I want to encourage you to practice. So I see we have several people that are jumping in the stream. Make sure, again, it encourages me when you guys like the video, and even if you're bold enough to just say hello in the chat, I would love to hear that as well. And if any of my students are in waking up this morning getting this video, say hello as well. All right, so here's something that I like to do. I like to be able to say my scales forward and backwards, right? I want to be able to spell out C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, but also C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. And the reason is if I'm playing a descending scale, I want to be able to spell that C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C, because not only is it going to help me as I go up and down the keyboard, but it also helps me with transposition. Okay, now one sort of way that I came up with a long time ago is how to say the scales forward and backwards is by doing, hey guys, good to see you. Hey Peter, hey Patty. So the way I do it, and the guys that are in the group know this, is that I want you to write out your C major scale. We're going to start with that. And you write C, D, E, F, and you put a comma. And then G, A, B, C, D. So a long time ago, I did my ZYXs, right? Z, Y, X, W, V, U, T, S, R, Q, P, O, N, M, L, K, J, I, H, T, F, E, D, C, B, and A. I taught it to my kids. And just for fun, but it's a great thing to be able to spell your scales forward and backwards. So here's the rhythm. You do C, D, E, F, and then you put a comma. G, A, B, C. So I want you to practice actually verbalizing that, saying it out loud, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. And then you do that several times, and then you do it backwards. C, B, A, G, or your 4 notes. C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. And here's what I will promise to you is that if you break it up like that, you will start to have confidence in knowing the scale, going up and coming down. So here's what I would do is, we're going to learn that in D flat in just a minute, okay? And so I want you guys to stick with me, is that we're going to practice making sure that we can do this. We're going to get comfortable with C and D flat. Now, this is a focused practice strategy, right? Eventually, you're going to make sure you can do it in all 12 keys. You're going to know each key to be able to spell it and to know your theory going up or going down. So let's just go ahead and just for a quick review, we'll review a couple of the licks that we're working on in the course, and we'll practice making sure we know our theory. So if I've practiced that C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, and backwards C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C, now I'm going to go, okay, 1, 3, 5 of that major scale. If I seem like I'm going too fast, you can put it in the chat, but here's the thing. We've already covered this in detail. We're covering it every single day in all the videos that have been going out. But here's what we're going to do. Minor third to major third for this very first lick. And if you guys don't have the lick, my most popular video, the one that pops right up, the one that has 900 and I don't know, 5,000 or something, there's a link to get that PDF, and it has the fingering and everything. But all you're doing is minor third to major third on the triad, and then you go to what would be the 4 chord of the C major scale, and it's in second inversion, and then you have a C7 chord without the third. It's just C, G, and B flat. So we have this going on in my left hand. I'm just thinking root 5th and root 6th. Okay. Now, I will go ahead and talk about D flat major, and then we'll come back and do all of the other licks. And I'll show you guys the licks that we've been doing this week with the group, and I think you'll really like it, and I think it'll make sense, so just hang in there. Okay, the next scale we're going to do is D flat major, and we're going to go up the scale of D flat, and here's the fingering I want you to use for your right hand. D flat is, let's do the notes first. D flat, E flat, F, G flat, A flat, B flat, C, and D flat. One more time. D flat, E flat, F, G flat, A flat, B flat, C, D flat. On my way back down, D flat, C, B flat, A flat, G flat, F, E flat, D flat. My fingering I'm going to use is whenever I play a D flat major scale, I'll always do 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2. Okay, now the same rule applies, is that you're going to give me your 4 notes and then a comma. You're going to write out D flat, E flat, F, G flat. You're going to put a comma, A flat, B flat, C, D flat. So let's do this in real time. D flat, E flat, F, G flat. That's my first rhythm, and I'm just may want to spend time doing that. D flat, E flat, F, G flat. D flat, E flat, F, G flat. Then when I get comfortable, I'm going to go up the scale. D flat, E flat, F, G flat. Here's my second group of notes. A flat, B flat, C, D flat. A flat, B flat, C, D flat. So now I'll do the whole scale up. D flat, E flat, F, G flat, A flat, B flat, C, D flat. Now I'm going to start working my way back down the scale. D flat, C, B flat, A flat. That's my 4-note grouping that I'm going to work to make sure I memorize. D flat, C, B flat, A flat. And I'm even thinking and visualizing the keyboard. Not looking at it, just visualizing it in my mind. D flat, C, B flat, A flat. I get that down, and then I'm going to do the second set of 4 notes. G flat, F, E flat, D flat. G flat, F, E flat, D flat. Now, I've done that so many times, it's natural to me. And if it feels like, oh, wow, that's a lot going on, it won't be, even if you were to write out the scale today, D flat, E flat, F, G flat, comma, A flat, B flat, C, D flat, and just practice 5 minutes of that every day. Pretty soon, it's going to be very familiar to you guys, even playing this lick in D flat. And I see we have a lot more people coming in the chat. Good morning. We're really glad that you guys are here. smash that like button. I told myself I'd never say smash that like button. You can hit the like button. Anyway, so let's transpose this into D flat. Somebody say hello in the chat as well. And here's the thing, you know D flat scale, and now you're going to do this theory right here. You're thinking 1, 3, 5 of the D flat major scale, right? Now it's not just fingers and not knowing where we are. D flat major, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1. We need the triad, and we need to hammer on the second note to the third note. Hammer on that, and my bass note is going to be D flat to A flat, which is 1 and 5 of the D flat major scale to 1 and 6. So all you're doing is quarter notes there. In my right hand, I go here, and then I go 1, 2, 4. So that's my fourth note, my G flat triad in second inversion, and then the last chord is my D flat 7 chord without the third, without that note. So we have this. And I'm going to give you guys a really important tip here in just a second. Okay, so again, you guys can download this chart. It's on the most popular video I have on YouTube. You guys will see it. It says like Blues Piano Pro in an hour. I think there's a link there to get this. Has the fingering and everything. But here's what I want you to know is that if you have, I'm going to go back to C. If you have trouble kind of swinging this, where if you have trouble with locking up the hands, I want you to play it straight. Watch what happens if I do this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. All right, let me see what Peter says. Bob, I think you have a very... Yeah. You know, Peter, maybe you could file those fingers down. I'm kidding, Peter. I have several students that have this kind of issue. And as a matter of fact, my dad, who's a piano player, has this issue as well. When you have that issue, there are a couple of things you can do. And I was just kidding with that. Okay, one is you can get creative with how you move your hand into the keys. Like, in other words, you can kind of maneuver your hand to where it works. And I know that can be difficult, but here's your answer. Let's do D flat. But what you can do, Peter, is instead of hammering on there, you literally can do a different fingering, like 4-1. That's a perfect example for you right there. 4 and 1 to 2-1. So you go. See if that makes sense, Peter. And then you go back to the normal fingering, right? Yeah, and as a matter of fact, Peter, with that kind of fingering, there are several different licks that are in Blues Volume 2 that I teach that specific fingering that you're talking about, because I understand the issues, and we can work through that. But you're making sense. Everyone has a different shaped hand, right? Okay, so let's go back to this idea of making sure we know these two keys, right? When we're really focusing on our practice and we're trying to get something done without being overwhelmed, we want to make sure that we're focusing on this strategy for today, C and D flat. And in just a second, I'm going to do it one more time where I do C and then D flat, and then I'm going to practice the licks that we've been working on, okay? So here we go. So C major, I'm practicing C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. I've written it out, C, D, E, F, comma, G, A, B, C. And now I can say it for going up or coming back down, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. For the lick, I need 1, 3, and 5 of the major scale to 1, 4, and 6 of the major scale, which gives me an F chord in second version, and then 1, 5, and flat 7 of the major scale. And then I'll play the lick. Awesome, Peter. And repetition is your friend, right? When you're practicing this stuff. I mean, I've played these so many times, and many of you have as well. But if you learn it in C and all that feels good, I want you to be able to play it in all keys, because chances are you're going to be at your rock guitar player friend's house and he wants to play in A or an E, and I want you to be able to do that. And what I'm telling you here is that if you learn even C fingering, and some people use 1, 2, and 4, and that's fine. 1, 2, 4 instead of 1, 2, 3. That's totally fine. But if you learn the C fingering and you learn the D flat, which is the hammer-on fingering, you know the fingerings for all 12 keys, right? Because that's a hammer-on key. And I'll just demonstrate it by doing D major. So I know my D major scale, and because I know this and I know the theory of we need to get to that triad and we have to hammer on to the major third, that's the same fingering as this, even when I go to D. And then E flat is a slide fingering, right? Okay, so if I'm thinking in D flat, I want you guys to make sure you have this fingering for your scale: 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Coming back down, you put your fourth on the B flat, D flat, E flat, F, G flat, A flat, B flat, C, and D flat. D flat, C, B flat, A flat, G flat, F, E flat, D flat. And then if you're thinking, why is he making me learn my scales? And the reason is because you will be able to transpose into all keys. And I promise you will, just like you do for C major and the licks you're learning. So let's go ahead and dig into some of the licks that this group that we've been having, the licks we've been transposing. For you guys that are just joining us, for all the people that have my bundle, and I don't care if you have the bundle right now, this is not like pitching that. We're already into this course. I did add somebody yesterday, and anybody who has the bundle, you can get in. You just have to email me. But here's what we're doing is we're taking Blues Volume 1, and for 5 weeks, we're going through every single lick. It's 10 licks, and we're doing it in all keys, and we're doing 2 keys a week, okay? So we're on our second week, and every day they get a video that says, here's how you play Blues Volume 1 or Example 1 and 2 in all keys. And so we're on week 2, and I'm just going to show you guys the licks we've been doing, okay? The very first one we did was C major. And I'm sorry, the first lick, which is this C triad lick, right? The second lick we did is the diminished lick, right? And we talk about not only triads, but like how do you get set into licks where you can visualize them? Well, you take a C major, the diminished lick goes like this. Kind of an old school sound. Da, da, da. So one of the things we worked on in the course is finding the 1, 3, and 5 of the major scale, and then you take the top 2 notes and you go down by a half step with fingers 2 and 4. Great thing about this lick is that it uses 1, 3, and 5 to 2 and 4, and all you do is 2, 4, and then you settle back into the triad. So listen to this: 2 and 3 and 4 and da da da. Okay, now if I was going to play that in D flat, here we go, we're already transposing with confidence. What I'm going to do is I'm going to find the triad. I want you to visualize on this specific lick, I want you to visualize the triad. 1, 3, and 5 of a D flat major scale, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 3, and 5. And then in my right hand, my top 2 notes are going to go down by a half step, and that gives me the diminished triad, right? C sharp, E, and G. So I'm visualizing getting to, I'm going to focus on the D flat triad, but I'm visualizing the E and G there. So when I go to play that lick, I'm doing the E and G to the triad there. If that makes sense, put that it makes sense in the triad. Yeah, Patty, that's a great fingering. Either one of those will work. And I like the fact that you guys aren't stuck on whatever I say regarding fingering. I love it when you come up with a fingering that's creative and it works for you. All right, in this specific example, this second lick is E, G, and then D flat. And you can practice it very straight. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. I'm going to go back to C and demonstrate it one more time. So find my triad, and I'm going down a half step, and I have fingers 2 and 4 on the E flat and G flat. Now, if I was going to play that lick, my fingers are going to 2, 4, and then I go right to the triad. Okay, now, if I'm practicing the vocabulary, right, we're building up vocabulary, so you will eventually be able to make not only play the licks that are in the courses, but you're also playing whatever you come up with. And a lot of you have come up with your own licks, and I've stolen several of them, right, Dwight? So I'm making myself laugh. That's good. Okay, so if I was going to do lick 1 and lick 2 together, just as a practice example, here we go. I don't have to play fast, right? Now I'm going to visualize that lick by thinking of 2 and 4 on E flat and G flat. Boom, da, da, boom. Again. Okay, that was the second lick, and then we did. Let's see, so we did that in all keys last week. Both of those licks. This week we started off with a really cool concept of using the 6th note of the blues scale. Okay, so the 6th note of the major scale, is an A, and we did this lick coming down 6, 5, 6, and then you go flat third down to the root. So I'm thinking of a major scale, 6, 5, 6, flat 3, 2, 1. Da, 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 da. And then I go down to 6, 5, and on this one we're ending back on the root. Da, 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 da. Now why this is nice is because not only do you have that cool interval of the 6th for this blues, but it also has the flat third in it, right? Da, 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 ba, da, 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 da. And we're going to transpose that in just a minute, but I'm going to bring up a couple of important things related to this. Keep hitting that like button. I see we have several people coming in, and just to say hello, and again, encourages me when you guys interact in the chat, and when you like the video, that helps me know that we're on the right track. So in addition to learning these licks, I also like to teach shapes, and this is where it gets fun and very useful. So let's just remind everybody that I like to teach the first 5 notes of the C blues scale, right? How do you get a blues scale? First 5 notes, you do 1 of the major scale, flat 3 of the C major scale, 4, sharp 4, your tritone, and your 5th note. And what I like to do is get you hovering over each note and just mash it all down so that you can give me any one of those notes and it's going to sound awesome, right? Okay, that's the first thing, is we have this specific shape. But going back to this lick, we have this da, 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 which comes out of the A blues scale. And this is one of the things I also like to teach, is that you can play, all these notes are going to work when you're C blues. All those notes are going to work, but also if you go down 3 half steps, now you're on the A blues scale. And you have the first 4 notes of the A blues scale is A, C, D, and E flat. So you have this sound. Okay, how easy is that right there? Again. Okay, so if you're playing the C blues, you know all these notes are going to work, right, from the C blues scale, but your A blues scale shares a lot of the same notes, and that's why it makes it really nice. How does that relate to this specific lick? We do A, da 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 da, which comes right out of that A blues scale. Da 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 da. Now I'll just play the A blues scale. Da 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 da. Now when I go to F, da 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 da. So all I'm doing is thinking C blues scale or A blues scale, and as it relates to this lick, that's just a nice lick to get that A and that E flat working for you. Okay, does that make sense to you guys so far? Now we're going to transpose that lick into D flat. Okay, let's talk about this, because this is where this lick may feel a little bit tricky under the hand, but I'm also going to show you how to break it down into sections. Okay, so we did this. Da, 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 da. I'm just going to demonstrate the sections in the practice in the key of C. Okay, we're going to start on the A and consider this 6, 5, 6 as section 1. Da, da, da. This is section 2. Da, da, da. And I like the fingering if you can do it. 5, 4, 5, 3, 2, 1. Da, 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 da. So section 1, da, da. Section 2, da, da, da. Section 3, da, da, da. Even that by itself, section 3, da, 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 da. Now, as it relates to the C major scale, we're talking about transposition. 6, 5, 6, flat 3, 2, 1. In the key of D flat, which we've been working and focusing on, we have to find the 6th note of a D flat major scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. B flat. Da, da, da. So we have 6, 5, 6, flat 3. Da, da, da. So 6, 5, 6 is section 1. Da, da, da. Again. Da, da, da. I love slow practice. Da, da, da. Section 2. Da, da, da. And I did thumb 3, 2. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. And then the last part of the lick, I'm going to do thumb on the 6th note, da, 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 da. I'm going to do 6, 5, and root. So we have da, 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 da. Again, da, 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 da. Remember that you can practice all of this straight as well. And now we're really getting some transposition done, right? We're really starting to understand D flat in the same way that we do C major, okay? So now let's review this. Let's go back to C. If you ever get overwhelmed and feeling like it's too much information, one is you can take a break, a short break, but also go back to C major, because C major is kind of your home key, and so something that you're comfortable with. So now I have 3 ideas, right, that I can start putting together. Here's the first one. Repetition is your friend. Normally I would have a metronome on. Now I'm going to do the 6th lick. Now, that wasn't one of the licks that we've worked on, but we did say, hey, we can use the A blues scale or the C blues scale, and all that's going to sound great. So the first 5 notes of the blues scale. And a side note, another thing I like to teach is the automatic pilot. Okay, if you know anything about classical music or you've seen lots of different finger exercises, one is the Hannon exercises, which does you play a note and you skip a note, right? In the same way for jazz, I like to teach where you do the first 5 notes of the blues scale, and then I want you to be able to play it in all keys. But for right now, I want to show you about automatic pilot. So automatic pilot for C major, you find your C blues scale, first 5 notes of the C blues scale, and all you're going to do is go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 one way that you're going to lock that up even is by figuring out where does it line up with the left hand. Watch the right hand. Where do they line up together? 1 and 2. So whenever I go to C and A, I'm on the F note. Watch this. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Even on the way down, C and A goes with the F note. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2. Now, when you hear people playing the blues scale and it's just all blues scale, and sometimes it gets a bad rap where they say, oh, they're just playing the blues scale. Well, that may be true, but the blues scale is there for a reason, and you can make up infinite possibilities of combinations of notes on the blues scale. And I actually did a chart that I think I sent out to everybody on the email list very recently, and it was exactly that. It was like taking the first 5 notes of the blues scale, and one of the ones we did was this: boom, da, bo, da, 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 boom, da. Again, boom, da, bo, da, 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 boom, da. So even though that I'm doing these specific examples as a practice strategy, you also have, at any time, you can switch it up and go to the first 5 notes of the blues scale, or you can go the first 4 notes of the A blues scale. All right, so my first lick was this. Second lick was this. And remember, I'm thinking shortcut. There's my triad. Top 2 notes go down. Third lick was the A lick. Again. The first 4 notes of the blues scale. All right, let's do that. The example that I did, automatic pilot thing, I'm going to turn it around. Boom, da, ba, da, 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 boom, da. So what I did just then was kind of that train sound, is I just use 1 and flat 7 of the scale of C major, right? And that gives me that sort of that comping chord, so I'm kind of complementing the soloist, which is myself, right? E and B flat, and I just did it like, that's another thing good to practice. Dun, dun. The third note of the C major and the flat 7. Dun, dun. We're about to do another lick in just a second, so here we go. All right, I'm going to go back to example 1. I'm already kind of visualizing how I want to do it. What did I do there? First 4 notes of the C blues scale, and I went down to B flat, right? If you guys are enjoying this, keep hitting that like button. I love the interaction and you guys hanging in there with me. I promise you guys you can do this stuff, and we can do it together. I promise you that. Okay, so having the option of going to C blues, first 5 notes, or the A blues scale in between all these licks, it just gives you total freedom, right? And just, this is where you have fun. You can do the same thing in D flat, right? But right now, I'm kind of enjoying us being in C and going through these licks. I keep saying I'm going to show you another one, but I'm having a little bit of fun here as we're connecting these 2 simple shapes. So let me do it one more time. I always say that a lot. If you're on this stream and you hear me say we're going to do it one more time, it's usually like 10 times. All right, here we go. And all I'm doing there is boom, The lick that I did, kind of like a very easy Oscar Peterson lick, is all I did is the fourth note of a major scale, boom, and put my thumb on there, and I put my pinky, on the top. And all I do is, actually not my thumb, I use second finger on F, pinky on C, and my thumb on E flat. It gives you that nice sound. Da, 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 da. So I'm just gonna either play one of the licks or the blues scale, and I'll put that in there, okay? This is just a bonus lick, all right? Here we go. How about down here? So all I had to do there is I did the third and the flat 7, but when I went to the F chord, I did flat 7 and 3 of an F scale, but that's for a different video. All right, here's the lick we did yesterday and that the group is currently working on right now. I call this a lick / exercise, and the reason is because at times it kind of does sound exercise-ish, but you're really working your ear and seeing all the possibilities. The first thing we do is we do C major scale. We're going to do octave, flat 7, 6, flat 6, and then you settle down into the first 5 notes of the C blues. So listen to this. So in my mind, as I'm playing that, I'm thinking octave of a C major scale, flat 7. How do you get to a flat 7 of any note? Go down a whole step, right? So C to B flat. The 6th note is A. So once I get to here, I'm chromatic until I get to the first 5 notes of blues scale. So watch it slowly. Boom, ba, boom, ba, boom, ba, boom, ba, boom, ba, da, da, da. I kind of like 4th finger on those black notes there. Boom, ba. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1. Maybe that's too difficult for me. I'm going to slow it down and I'm going to do right hand only. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and you guys know, if anybody is watching, I think Emilio saw one of my videos yesterday, and I mentioned this, which is I did okay with the group. We have 30 people, and we're on our 2nd week. But if anybody gets my bundle, which has all the licks and all the courses and all the videos, blah blah blah, it's like really cheap now. It's like 40 something dollars, and you get everything. But when I started this course, I said, hey, all I ask is a free course, a 5-week course that's free, but all I ask is that you get the bundle, because not only do you get all the material, but I teach licks and ideas from all of the courses, all the blues courses, and I just thought that was a fair way of doing it. But I've always said, if there's ever a financial need, somebody let me know and we'll work something out. I don't want the financial issue to be something that keeps you from achieving your goals and all that. So you can always email me, bob@iMusicAcademy.com. But in addition to all of that, you guys have the sheet music, and it has all the fingerings and everything. So we've been messing around with Blues Volume 1. Let's do what else did we do yesterday? Do you guys have any questions before I keep going? I did send out the videos this morning, of course, every day. has a different video, and we're doing 2 keys every single day. So for some of you guys, it's moving pretty quickly, but you'll always have the videos. I know what I was going to tell you. So when I came up, I'm telling everybody this, whenever I came up with the idea of this course, that we're going to do 5-week course, Transposition and Blues Volume 1 into all keys, I created this group, and I had people that bought the bundle, and it's still available and still on sale, but people were buying it, and I already started doing videos. So there's a playlist of like 22 videos of live sessions and things I've already done with the group before the course even started. So it's a crazy amount of material, and we are building a really fun, awesome community, as you can see, with like Peter and Patty and Vicky, and it's been great. And I don't just like send out videos. It's like we're communicating through email and of course on our private live sessions and everything. So if anyone wants to be a part of that, all I ask is that if you can, get the bundle. It is very much affordable. And the last thing I'll say about that is, if I were to take a lesson with somebody, I would pay them $60 for an hour. And this is the same thing that I charge for my private students, which again, I try to be fair all the way around. And for like $40, you get all 3 volumes plus the jazz course plus all the sheet music and videos, etc. So I just thought that was a way to continue to build the community. All right, so here we go. Let's do this. Let's work on this lick in D flat, and then we'll open up for questions and any other things you have questions for. Let's try to get to 10 likes, though. I think we can do it. So in order to play this lick, the first thing I want you to do is make sure that you can play your 5-note pattern in D flat, right? You have D flat, E, F sharp, G, and A flat. And to get this, you have to be able to get up into the keys. And if you're still here, I want to see if you can get your fingers up into the keys for the first 5 notes of the D flat scale. Now, the reason you need to know this scale, your first 5 fingers being able to go right to the notes, is because when I do the octave and the flat 7 and I'm going down chromatically, once I get to the 5th note of the D flat major scale, and now I'm doing the blues scale, it's all under the hand. Oh, thank you, Peter. I love having you guys in the group. It really is what I've always wanted, is like a family type atmosphere, and I treat everybody with like we're family, because we are, and we're doing this. And you know, we have 30 people in the group, which is awesome, but I would love to get in a situation down the road where I'm able to do this on a bigger scale, and to where I can create lots and lots of content for you guys. And just anyway, I will always keep it very personal, for sure. Okay, I've always said I don't want to just sell courses. Like, I want people to actually do the courses. So that's what I've been doing, and it bugs me if I have people. This is kind of more information than you guys need to know. I have people that have been so nice to me that they have bought my courses multiple times, even though I know that they're not going through them, and I know they don't need multiple copies. But anyway, okay, so here we go. First 5 notes of the blues scale. How do you get to, so you have your octave on your D flat major scale, and how are you going to get to the flat 7? You're going to go down a whole step, right? That always gets you the flat 7. 6th note is right below that, flat 6, and first 5 notes of the blues scale. Okay, so our bass line is still the same, D flat to A flat, and then D flat to B flat, root 5th of a D flat major scale to root 6. Now here we go. We're going to go octave, flat 7, and the last are the first 5 notes of the blues scale. Now at the bottom of the lick, it is that automatic pilot. Da, 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 da. Let me do it again slowly. Maybe that's making your brain fry thinking about that, because you're not used to D flat. Well, one, you could take a break and come back to it and go, okay, D flat, E flat, F, G flat, A flat, B flat, C, D flat, D flat, C, B flat, A flat, G flat, F, E flat, D flat. And make sure you get your fingering 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. Okay, we have that. Now, octave, no problem. I want to make sure you guys can play. We can all play the octave. Flat 7, 6, flat 6, and then once I get to this shape, I am home free. First 5 notes of the blues scale. Now, to do another thing that's related to the first 5 notes of the D flat blues scale, what did we say? If you want to play the other blues scale that would go with D flat, you're going to go down the 6th note, right? We did this. Da, 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 da. The 6th note is a really cool, important lick of the blues scale, right? So, da, 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 da. So that 6th note down here, 3 notes down from D flat, gives me the first 4 notes of the B flat minor blues scale. And now I can do this. Again. I'm going to go back to C just to show you. So now, because we know, okay, we can play the first 5 notes of the C blues scale, or we can play the first 5 notes of the D flat blues scale. Now watch this. I can go D flat, and now I can go down 3 half steps and play this shape of first 4 notes, and then I can also do it when I'm in the key of C. Does that make sense, guys? And then if I'm frustrated, I'm going to go back to C. So Dwight is one of my students, and I was just telling you guys that a lot of people, a lot of my students have taken the first 5 notes and come up with some really creative things. And Dwight, I've mentioned this story several times, but Dwight, one time during our lesson, he did this. He did boom on the tritone. Da, 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 da. So it's using the root and the tritone and the 4th note of the blues scale. And then he went down to the B flat and went to the C. Boom, da, 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 do, da, do, da, 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 do, da, do, da, da. It has a lot of tension, right? But it's, to me, I really like that. That's just one example of something fun you can use. And with the first 5 notes of blues scale, you can kind of mix it up and create your own ideas. All right, I will do one blues scale connection in a second, and then we'll call it a day. The blues scale is that if you're going to also add some fun and connecting ideas, you need to know the full blues scale. So to play the blues scale in any key, you need to be able to play the root, the flat 3rd of the major scale, the 4th, the sharp 4, the 5th, the flat 7, and the root again. Now notice my fingering. 1, 2, 3, 4, thumb under. 1, 2, 3. 3, 2, 3, 2, 1, 4, 3, 2, 1. The important note to make sure I'm on is my F sharp. I'm using finger 4, right? And if I know that fingering, I can go all the way up and down the blues scale, no problem. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Okay, now the reason this is important is because as you're playing ideas or even the blues bass line, I want you to get familiar with that, right? So I'm going to play it very slowly. Or maybe like this, 1 and 2 and 3. So if I did, let's say I'm playing this. Or maybe at the top. right? You see what we're doing to kind of mixing and match and making it our own. So I'm going to go maybe from the bottom. How about this? Boom da ba da 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 boom da da boom ba da da boom ba da ba da 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 ba da ba da da right? I'm not doing anything hard, right? I'm just mixing and matching the stuff we've already done just this morning, right? I'll do it one more time and then I'll take questions and then I'll let you guys go practice. So what I just did there is I either played the blues scale going up, and I love slow practice. I'm playing a little bit faster than I normally would, especially for a teaching video. But let me say this. Now hear this. When you practice very slowly, and I mean very slowly, you can really get out your ideas. And I love for you to sing out loud and practice singing along with your playing, even if you feel like you're not a good singer. I want to get to 15 likes before we wrap up for today. So thank you for the 11 likes. This has been really encouraging to me today. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to practice really slowly like I would practice. And you guys are going to be amazed if you practice really slowly that you're going to really start getting your own ideas out. So here we go. Actually, I'll stay in C. I'm just doing the blues scale right now. Maybe blues scale coming down. What am I doing right there, right? That's minor third. I'm sorry, root up to the minor third. I love the sound of the minor third on the top, right? So it has that nice tension there. So you can go. And that's a nice fingering there. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's another shape that I like to teach. 4, 3, 2, 1. Let me do that again. Again. Now what am I doing there? Triplets. 1 and then 2 and then 3 and then 4 and then 1 and then 2. And it's okay at this point if some of that sounds like it's mechanical or whatever, because at this point, yes, you're coming up with your ideas, but also you're kind of getting used to playing scales and rhythms up and down so that you can, once you get your technique down, then you'll be able to make it as musical as you want. So here we go. I went to switch to the A blues scale. So what I did right here, right there, is that's the lick number 10 of the blues scale, and that's a super easy thing you can do, right? Is go up from the third up to the root of whatever you're doing, and you go down. And the fingering is the same, exactly the same for all keys there. You go thumb, pinky, da, crossover, da, da, da. So you go third up to the root, down to the ninth, up to the flat 7. Da, 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 da. So what I did is I was on the 5 chord of the C blues, very simple C blues, down to the ninth and the flat 7. And then I'm already, guess what, on the F chord, third up to the root. So let me do that. Third up to the root. Now I did the triplet there. I did. And I'm not even thinking, guys, I'm not even thinking ahead of time, like, what am I going to do next? I mean, I am thinking about it, but I'm not planning it out way beforehand. It's like I didn't think of, oh, I'm going to do this. And I didn't even think about, oh, triplets. I'll use triplets. But the reason I can do it is the same exact reason that you guys will be able to do this, and maybe some of you already can, which I think is awesome, is we learn vocabulary, we learn technique, and we learn theory, right? We're learning C and D flat major, and then you start to mix it up and make it your own. And you just have to know how to practice, how to get better, and how to enjoy the process while you're still while you're practicing. Like, to me, focusing on C and D flat really frees you up, doesn't it? Right? To free it up. If we're just going to do this today, maybe today I'm just going to practice the C blues scale and the first example. Okay, so here's the first example. Now I'm going to go to the blues scale. I'm going to do the same thing on F blues. Sorry, the 4 chord. C blues scale. Uh-oh, triplets. All right, now, even when I go to the G, blues scale, I'll do that again, 2 and 3 and 4. I just did the first part of the lick. I didn't go all the way up. I just decided on the flat. I'm going to go to F. Blues scale, how about that? How about the Oscar Peterson lick? I'm going to stay there. I like that sound. Even when I'm on the F. Oscar Peterson, I'll stay out there. How about blues scale? Now I did that just up the octave, right? Awesome, thank you, Vicky. All right, let's do a super fast review. Any questions on anything? I think we're gonna get to 15 likes. We're at 14 now, and I really appreciate all the fun we've been having this morning. And then I'll tell you about some other cool things that I've been working on. I actually have a couple questions for you guys as well. All right, so here's your quick review for anybody who is just now joining us. We're talking about practicing and simplifying your practice time so that you feel encouraged and you get a lot done. First thing we did is we said, all right, C major, we need to know C major forward, going up and back down. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, C, B, A, G, F, E, D, C. And this is my little fun thing that I came up with a long time ago. As I said, I'm going to write out my major scales, and I did that C, D, E, F, and I put a comma on the piece of paper. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, and then break it up into rhythms. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, and I practice it just like that. C, D, E, F. Sometimes I want to spend a little time. We only have 12 major scales to do. C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D. G, A, B, C. Coming back, C, B, A, G. I may want to practice that for a while. C, B, A, G, C, B, A, G, and then the other 4, F, E, D, C. So now I can, because I've practiced this, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. When it comes time to transpose, to learn licks, to learn voicings, anything, I can go, okay, I need 1 flat 3, 5 of the major scale. Boom. I need 1, 4, 6 of the C major scale. That's my F triad in second inversion. I need 1, 5 and flat 7. Now, because of all of this and knowing this, I can play anything related to C major, and you guys can do the same. The next thing is we're going to say, all right, we're going to learn D flat, and we're going to take the mystery out of D flat, right? Because we don't spend a lot of time in D flat, but we're going to make sure we can do it. So the first thing is I want to make sure I write out my notes. D flat, and I would encourage somebody to do it right now. I'm going to spell them out slowly just to make sure we're good, and write this comma in the middle of it. So we have D flat, E flat, F, G flat, write a comma, A flat, B flat, C, and D flat. And you're going to practice saying it. First of all, make sure your fingering is 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. But when you're learning this, you don't even have to be by your instrument. D flat, E flat, F, G flat. That's your first note grouping. D flat, E flat, F, G flat. When I feel comfortable there, I'm going to go on. A flat, B flat, C, D flat. A flat, B flat, C, D flat. Now I'm going to put it all together. D flat, E flat, F, G flat. A flat, B flat, C, D flat. Now I'm going to come back down. I have to practice D flat, C, B flat, A flat. D flat, C, B flat, A flat. Do that several times. D flat, C, B flat, A flat. And then I do the next 4 notes. G flat, F, E flat, D flat. G flat, F. Now I'm going to spell it going up and down. D flat, E flat, F, G flat, A flat, B flat, C, D flat. D flat, C, B flat, A flat, G flat, F, E flat, D flat. And I promise you guys that if you just spent a little bit of time today and the next couple of days, that'll be very easy for you guys to do. And I want somebody to email me to tell me that you did it and that it helped you, and that would be awesome. Okay, once I get my D flat major scale, because I'm focusing on a small amount of material, I have to learn the first lick. I'm going to hammer on from 3 to my triad. So my minor third of a D flat major scale to my triad, 1, 3, 5 of the D flat major scale to 1, 4, 6 of a D flat major scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then the last lick is the D flat 7 chord, which is 1, 5, and a flat 7 of the D flat major. How do you find the D flat, the flat 7 of any key? Start on the root and go down a whole step. So we have this. Okay? And then it's just like it's starting to learn these other licks and ideas. We said, okay, the second lick was the diminished lick. And how do we find that? We visualize the triad, boom, go down by the top 2 notes, and now I have this. Okay, so in the D flat, I get to the D flat triad, 1, 3, 5 of the major scale. Going to go down by the top 2 notes. And all of this is a review. If you need to watch a slower version, just back up the replay. E and G. So if I'm playing that idea and I need to get to that diminished lick, I go E and G with fingers 2 and 4 and get up into the keys a little bit. The other lick we did was the 6th lick. We did this. And I know the lick is 6, 5, 6, flat 3, 2, 1, 6, 5, 1 of the C major scale. You can always break up these licks into sections like we did with this one. This is the first section. 6, 5, 6. The second part of the section, the lick was, the second section is flat 3, 2, 1. Put those together. And the third part is A, G, C. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to D flat and do the exact same thing, okay? So we're going to go to D flat. There's my 6th note, da, 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 and I'm going to go section 1, flat 3rd, 2nd note, and root. Da, 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 da. And then the last part of the lick was 6, 5, 1. Da, 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 da. Put it together. Da, 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 da. Now what is that? That's the B flat minor blues scale. We said that we can use the D flat first 5 notes or the first 4 notes of the scale that's 3 half steps down, called the relative minor scale, which we'll deal with in another video. All right, so first 4 notes there. So I could just sit on this for a little while. Okay, the next thing is we're going to do is we need to know the whole D flat blues scale. Now, sit tight, guys. This is where we're ending this with some major progress about to happen, okay? We learned our C major blues scale, our C blues scale, and we learned the fingering and everything. But D flat is just a little bit different, but it's actually not hard. You just have to focus, okay? So we learned the first 4 notes of the blues scale. First 5 notes of blues scale by putting our hand in the shape. But what happens if we want to play the whole scale? We have to do this fingering. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. I want you to do that and tell me that you have it. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. So it's 1, flat 3rd, 4, sharp 4, 5, flat 7, 1. So I'm 4, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1. So let me just practice that very slowly. All right, we're at 15 likes. You guys are awesome. Here we go. So listen again. We're gonna da 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 da. Now, pay attention. This is really important. When I go up to stop on the D flat, I use that 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. But the great thing about D flat, they almost seem impossible to play at times. But here's the thing. Watch this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And then guess what? You start over with your thumb on D flat. So the only time I use 4 is when I stop at the top. Da, 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 da. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Somebody put in the chat if they think that's awesome. Because it is interesting how, even these difficult keys, there are ways to make them not so difficult, right? Awesome job getting us to 15 likes. That's really encouraging. Okay, so the only other lick that we have to add on this stream today is this. We did this in C. I'll go back to C and do the lick exercise that our student group is working on this week, and that is octave to flat 7. How do you find the flat 7? You guys, it's so easy, right? You go down a whole step. So we have to the 6th note, go down chromatically for the flat 6, and then it's the first 5 notes of the blues scale, right? So we have this. And once I get to here, I'm in shape, right? I'm in the shape that we want. So now I'm going to get the shape for D flat. Now, if I get to this shape already, look at that. We're at 17 likes. You guys are amazing. Well, I'm going to say we're going to get to 20. That's how I feel about it. Okay. So look, I'm already in the shape. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If I get to here, I'm almost done with transposing this to D flat, right? Awesome. What's up, Guinea G? All right, so octave, flat 7, 6, flat 6, and now we're in the shape, right? Okay. Boom da boom da boom da boom da 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 boom da 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 da. So So you're getting on that automatic pilot there. The key is getting your hand in the shape where you can just put it up there and go, right? So let's do it one more time. I've practiced, I know this shape, and I don't even have to, I can take my hand off the keyboard and go right back to it, and every note is in the right place, right? And if I have trouble with that, I can straighten it out. Listen. If I'm getting overwhelmed, I may just go D flat only, like right hand only. Or I might go back to C, or I may walk around the house, right, and do something different. Guinea, oh, that's the only time signature Guinea plays it in is 7/8. Again. So let me show you what I did right there, or was trying to do right there, is if you do that little Oscar Peterson simple thing, and then you go C minor, it gives you a nice little da da dum da 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 bum da 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 All right, do you guys, I think we're going to get, once we get to 20, we'll sign off, but don't be discouraged. All right, I was going to tell you guys a couple of really cool things. What was I going to tell y'all? Any questions on anything? It's been a really awesome group this morning. So for all of my students who may be listening, I'm going to either use Discord or WhatsApp for our community thing. Right now we've been doing just the live sessions, but I feel like there needs to be a quicker way to communicate with you guys than a 30-second delay or whatever it is. And let's do, let me give you one little fun tip, speaking of transposition, right? So you have this C. Okay, if you do a C7 chord, 1, 3, 5, flat 7 of the major scale, right? 1, 3, 5, flat 7. And then you go up with your your second finger, your E, up a whole step. It automatically puts you on the tritone. You guys see that? So what? So I can go. I'll go major third. Let's see. I like both of them. So what I'm doing there is hammering on, keeping the B flat held down. Da da boom. I'll do the triad. I'll do the F triad in the second version. Da 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 boom. Da da. We'll go major third. So it's just like this. But because I visualize the C7, right? I visualize 1, 3, 5, flat 7 of the major scale. I can go right to my second finger up to the F sharp, and right now I'm on that tritone, which gives me that cool sound, right? Or I can do the minor third. Now, why am I even showing you this? Because if you're going to go transpose this to D flat, all you need to do is D flat 7, 1, 2, 3, and if you go up from your index finger up a whole step, now you have the tritone. Be boom down, boom bam, boom, boom down, boom down, boom down, boom, boom bam, boom down, boom down, boom, boom bam, boom down, boom down, boom. Any questions on that? No way. No way. I'm good. All right. What I'm going to do is we'll do a question and answer, a time of question and hopefully answers, and then we'll wrap it up. But thank you everyone who's been hanging out. Give a big shout out to my student group. You guys are awesome. Big shout out for Emilio who signed up yesterday, and you guys have been a lot of fun. I'm just going to go over the same concepts in a practice format while you guys or while we're signing off. I was hoping we get to 20. We need to get to 20 likes before I sign off. There's a couple of fun updates. Is my brother may be building me a desk so I can put my keyboard this way so I can face you guys. I don't like the way my setup is right now. But hopefully we'll get that fixed ASAP. When I get to 20 likes, I'm signing off. Did any of my students or anybody who watched our videos lately, did you guys try this bass line? 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Curious to know who tried that, and then you can do all right, guys, I'm going to give it 1. I guess we're not going to get to 20, but we will get to 20, thanks to our replay viewers. Speaking of bass lines, to anybody who may still be watching this, is I've written out like 20 different bass lines, and I want to get my student group and feedback from anybody. Is I'm thinking about doing a course that is only bass lines. Now I would put one specific right hand example in, but I'm thinking we need to devote some time just to bass lines, and I would be curious to know what people think about that. So feel free to leave a comment or just email me, Bob at iMusicAcademy.com, and I'm going to also ask the student group about that. It just would be fun to do it, to dig into bass lines, because all this material and everything that you guys have, it would be nice. Once you change the bass line, it changes everything, right? It's like this little, just the kind of like the New Orleans feel, or the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, even just that. Or even just turning it around the blues scale. Hey, Dana. Awesome. What's up, Kevin? Well, for anybody who, even Dana, anybody who gets the bundle, of course, you're immediately added to our practice group and everything. But I also have tons of free stuff out there. You guys know that, and I really love the interaction we've had this morning. And if 9 o'clock ish is good on some weekdays, we'll keep doing that. I'm also on at night, and I have tons of replay views. But anyway, isn't that cool how it changes it? All right, very cool. Yeah, I have so many bass lines, I'm telling you, and it's good stuff. It's just fun to watch how it changes everything. Like see if you guys have fun with this today of just the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and you can go automatic pilot. And the trick on that one is just getting the and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Let's listen to this. And you guys know that we've been doing the eighth note for a long time. But there's so many other ones to use. But anyway, I wrote them all out, and but have fun with this one today. And try that Dwight lick, right? The or try the blues scale. Dana, it's really good to hear from you, by the way. Awesome, Kevin. Yes, Kevin, I have but if we do the baseline course, I really thinking that we dig in mostly left hand and almost separate, because really if you get your left hand going, all of the licks will be easy, right? And you have the material anyway to go along with it. So, and I'm thinking this will be, while it could be just one, it could stay in C major or a couple keys. I think we can do it in all keys if we focus on the left hand. So if we are in C major, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and now because we're D flat pros, right? We go right to D flat, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, or D major too. And all we have to do is know our triad, 1, 3, 5 our D major scale, and we're home free. And 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3. But if we did an in-depth study of each key, that would be awesome. All right, any other questions? Let me see what time it is. I'm going to actually put a cutoff time. All right, 5 minutes. I can hang out for 5 minutes. If you guys can hang out for 5 minutes. If you have any questions on anything we've already covered? We've covered a lot of material, but it's actually a small amount of material in some ways. If you're just coming in, help us to get to 20 likes. That would be awesome. And if you don't have that first example, this right here, on my most popular video, the one that has 905,000 views, then go ahead and grab that PDF. It's there. And if you can't find it, just email me, bob@iMusicAcademy.com. For anybody who goes to the website, if you want to get the blues bundle and be added to the group, all that would be very much appreciated, but at the same time, I have tons of free stuff as well. If anybody ever can't afford it, I always say email me and we'll figure it out. But yeah, I put it on sale. It's 3 volumes of videos of all the sheet music is written out. And even for our courses, I printed out several things so that I could work with the students to make sure that I'm teaching the right examples and everything. But I think it's good to not only have it on your iPad, but also to occasionally print something out. And I did make PDF versions for your iPad, which are kind of cool. So you can get the individual sheets when you get the courses, and you also have a link that has your iPad versions. Awesome. So this week, our student group, which is now 30, thanks to Emilio, is we are on this example that we've been going over today. And we're doing in all keys. We're doing 2 keys a day. And so we do Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. They get a video every single day. And then they have the next few days to put it all together. And I always send out videos to the group just of encouragement and also just practice strategies and things like that. But when I created this course, I said I'm doing a free course that for anybody who has my bundle, and several of my students are in here now, but and I add you to the list. And I created, before the course even started, the 5-week course, we're on week 2 now, I created like 22 live videos. And whenever people join the course, they get that access to that whole playlist as well before we even started the course. But it's been kind of cool. We've been creating a family kind of environment. It's been really encouraging. And you guys are emailing me, telling me what's working, what's not working, and we're kind of dealing with all that. So today's lesson that came out this morning at 9 a.m., and it was 3 keys, right? We do 2 keys a day. No, sorry, 3 keys a day for 4 keys. That covers all 12 keys. And what I tell my students, my pros that are out there, and also my beginners, is that even when this 5 weeks is up, you'll always have these videos. You'll always have this playlist. And transposing and all this music stuff, it's a journey, right? And isn't it fun to do it with people you care about and who are part of your tribe? And that's what I hope, whether or not you study with me or you study with anybody. There's a million opportunities to study with people, but I encourage you to find somebody that works for you. And my hope is to continue creating an awesome community, which I feel like it's a really cool family. And so I appreciate it. All right, we're close. We have 18. We just need 2 more likes. We're going to call it a day, and you guys can go practice. I'm looking forward to getting this desk, though, so I can really see you guys as opposed to looking over to the side with a 30-second delay. Welcome to all the people that are just joining now. It's been a really awesome group, and we have just a couple minutes and hopefully getting to 20 likes pretty soon. But I really appreciate all the feedback. You guys are awesome. Focus on C major and D flat. Go back and watch the video if you need to do that. And last time to fire away any questions you have. Kevin, email me and we'll talk bass lines. I'll get you to test a few out. And I'd love for you guys to take some of these ideas that we've already done and try them over. Oh, we're at 19. We're about to get there. Yeah, Kevin. But even if you did like today and you spent time on the New Orleans style simple bass line and just take the first 5 notes, right? So 1 and 2 and 3 and not doing anything that crazy. You guys, speaking of that, so there are certain licks that you guys email me about. Oh, I'm having trouble with this or that lick. This lick is from Blues 2, and that's one of those that when you put into different keys, you have to change the fingering up a little bit to be successful. So when I was talking to Peter earlier today in the stream, he was talking about using different fingerings, we deal with that kind of things on the more difficult licks, right? But take today and just get that thing going right there. Still D or D, C or D flat, right? We have to stay focused on what I originally started the live for. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and maybe I'll do the first 5 notes of the blues scale. How about the blues scale coming down? Da, 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 da. 2 and 3 and 4. All right. We're just gonna sit here until we get to 20. And don't be afraid to hit the like button if you're just now coming in and you want to stay. Hit the 20. Let's get to 20 and then we'll all go practice. That's a good lick for you guys to practice with that same fingering all the way down the keyboard and in all keys. It's the same. 1 5 1 2 1 5 1 2 1 5 1 2 1 5. It only changed at the very end. All we need is one more. One more. We can do it. You know, normally I wouldn't even care about whether or not we get to 20 likes because we'll definitely get there. And what are likes really anyway, right? But I will tell you this. It is amazing what it does for your algorithm when you get comments and people interacting and sharing and likes. It really helps everything. The other thing that helps is blogging, and I'm going to start doing that more. That's the blog. I mean, I cover the same material, right? It's just I have to put it in Word format. But we've been so busy with this chorus, and it's been great. Awesome. One more like, and we'll be there. And then I'll have the replay up. You guys can go listen to that and check that out. There's so many cool things that I've been working on for you guys and writing out everything just for fun. I'll show you. Speaking of printing out things. So I have this Blues Volume 4 that I've literally already done all of the exercises, written out all the sheet music. I'm going to put it up just so you guys can see it. See? So, and there's some really cool licks in this volume. I did 10 licks, it's 10 new licks and ideas, and some of them are like, I call them, one of them is like a spider crawl. It does some really cool things. And then anyway, it's actually more like 11 or 12 licks because I kept going and kept coming up with some different material. But all of the licks use this pattern, which is kind of neat because it has a fresh feel to it. And then the other thing I did simultaneously is I started writing out those bass lines. And originally I was going to have one chorus that had all the bass lines and all the material, all the licks, and then I have a jazz section too. And then when I got done with all of that, I thought, this is not going to be effective because I'm going to have all these bass lines and all this material, and I think people would get overwhelmed with that. So I decided to just focus on the 10 licks, and then the bass line's a separate thing. So that's where we are on that. And the only reason I haven't filmed it yet is because I'm still thinking through, now that it's going to be a little bit different, how it's going to be. And that's why I need the feedback from the great Kevin. He's going to help me with the bass lines, figure this out. And I told Dwight, who's again one of my students, I said, Dwight, when I come out with Blues Volume 4, I said, your lick is going to be the very first lick. And it's a good starter lick, you know, of this, the Dwight lick. I think it even has lyrics. Dwight has a very cool jazz lick. I don't remember what it was, but it's something very silly like that. All right, all we need is one more like and we'll be good. This will be a huge success. It already has been a huge success. All right, so anybody who's in my practice group or anybody who keeps up with iMusicAcademy and all my lessons, has anybody been able to consistently practice at least 4 times a week? I think that's the key, is consistency and focus. We have people from that are in our group that are from different parts of the world, and it's really hilarious of them trying to catch a live stream, and at the same time I want to make that happen, and I'm up at all hours of the night at times as well. So, but it's awesome to have people from different parts of the world. Let's see. Awesome. That's cool, Kevin. Kevin, have you done any of the jazz, like my easy jazz course? That easy jazz course it takes the idea, of course, of the blues, simple blues scales and simple jazz voicings, and in 5 lessons you go into playing Bill Evans type voicings and bass lines, and then it's a great bridge between both styles, right? Blues and jazz. Awesome. Very cool. When you emailed me or we last talked, I was thinking about that. I'm like, I wonder if Kevin's going through that stuff. Now that's the perfect volume for you guys to practice in all keys, right? I mean, example 1 is just first 5 notes of blues scale, right? Second starts adding the 2-note voicing, then the 3-note voicing, and then we get into the lick. We do something like C6 lick, and then I think it goes into bass line. So, but yeah, then you put that in all keys, you're home free, man. All right, one more like. That's how stubborn I'm going to be today. I'm going to sit here until somebody's brave enough. I don't care if you have to create a new Gmail account. I'm just kidding. I'm hoping that some of the people that joined us this morning were from the email list I sent out to the iMusicAcademy, the whole list that we were going live today. So that may be a reason that we had a nice little uptick this morning. What I would be curious to know is how many of our student group, how the we probably have about 10 people of our 30 that are emailing me and checking in almost every day and tell me what you're doing great with and what you're struggling with. But there's about 10 or a little more that aren't as active, and I get more apology texts or emails, which are hilarious. I don't expect everybody to be able to practice, especially not only during this course, but I keep saying it's a process, right? We have to learn how to practice and find time to practice and all that. So. So even coming down, that example right there, in order to play that, you have to figure out in D flat, where does that and come in? 1 and 2 and. There it is right there. The D flat lines up with the F. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. So the next part of that lick is the A flat on the D flat. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. I'll go back to C. And 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. All right, here's a couple other fun tips while we're waiting on that last like to come in. What we're going to do is the tritone is a great interval, right? You have the C and F sharp and C. Just listen to that one sound, okay? We have this. I like that sound of the tritone, and all I'm doing is C up to F sharp and coming down the blues scale, right? How about we do that? What's up, Peter? Are you back? You still been hanging out? Some of my students that are in the group, they say they are working. Some of them are working, and they've just had it in the background and just soaking it up, just listening to the different keys and talking about the theory. And I do think it really helps. Now, what I'm doing right there is I'm going back up to dee-da-da-da-da-da-boom, and I do dee-da-da-da-da-da-boom, da-da-da-da-boom. I went up to the pentatonic scale instead of just the blues scale has the tritone in it. Da-da-da-boom, da-da-da-boom is the minor pentatonic scale, which is for a different session, but what I did is dee-da-da-da-da-da-boom, and then I did the fourth note, da-da-da-da-da-boom, and I want you guys to have that sound. Da-da-da-da-da-boom, dee-da-da-da-da-da-boom, da-da-da-da-da. Listen to the difference. Da-da-da-da-da-boom, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-boom, da-da-da-da-da-da-da, dee-da-da-da-da-da-boom, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Oscar Peterson. How about going up to the minor third? Oscar Peterson again. Just practicing the scale now, right? Triplets. Scale. tritone again. All I'm doing there is I have the first 4 notes of the blues scale, and I just did 4th note, so B flat, E flat to G, G flat, C. If you are enjoying this, we need a like. It's very important like that's coming in next. You guys know what it is if you're enjoying this kind of material. So I'm having fun just going through all of the same material that we did this morning. I mean, there's so much in there, even if you're just focusing on C, right? That major third sound, right? Yeah, awesome. Yeah, Kevin, I was going to mention to you to try even C Jam Blues, of course, is a great one. But also, I actually started thinking about simple tunes that would be good in all keys. I love... What's that? Sunny Moon for Two, or Bag's Groove, right? So you have Bag's Groove is right, and that's a pentatonic scale, but so is the Sunny Moon for Two. Same thing. Sometimes when you go to the, instead of just the major third, you go to the flat third, you get a nice flat 7 there with the 9th in it, right? So you have the right here. the flat 7. Well, we did it. We got 20 likes. Thank you for the person that just gave me the like there, or for the person that created a separate Gmail address just to get us there. All right, guys, this has been a lot of fun. And for those that are just now watching, go back and watch the replay. And to all of our 30 people that we have in the group, we are super happy that you're in there. Keep practicing. And to everybody watching this, keep practicing and always email me if you have any questions. bob@iMusicAcademy.com. If you want to get the bundle so you can get in on this crazy thing that we're doing, there are 22 videos, plus, that's before the thing even started, plus last week's teaching, this week's teaching, which is 3 more keys with Blues Volume 1, Licks 3 and 4. And it's a really cool community. So thank you for hanging out. Thanks for all the feedback. And you guys are amazing. And I hope Kevin email me about those blues bass lines, and we'll get working on that. Thanks for being a part of the iMusic Academy family. Have a great day today, and keep practicing. You guys are awesome.